Hi and welcome to another video from me, Mark Carp of the Northwest Carp and Anglers Diary fishing blog. A couple of weeks ago I put a small clip on YouTube of me surface fishing literally this far from the bank, really close in. I didn't catch the fish came up for the bait and took it, and I struck and it came off. I won't go over the clip. It's on my YouTube channel with the title I Had Him on the thumbnail if you want to watch it. It's only a minute and a half long. But one of the comments in the video prompted this, what I'm going to do now. Now, the comment said, that's a minute and a half of my life I'm not going to get back. Which is fair enough, you know, not everybody likes short clips like that. But I'm going to show you what I took from that clip, because the comment to me was completely unjustified, because I got an awful lot out of that, as we're going to see now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the clip, I'm going to analyse it and pick out a few points to see where I went wrong, because sometimes you'd have to relearn these lessons. You know, we all learn as we're going along in fishing, like, but sometimes you just forget what you're doing, and you're oblivious to it. And that day I was oblivious to what I was doing wrong. But when I looked at the clip back, I thought, oh yeah, that's what happened. And since then I've been consciously trying to correct it, and of course a few fish as well. So the lesson I learned was a pretty valid one. So let's analyse the clip now. I'll take a look at it and I'll show you exactly what went wrong and what I did to rectify it. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so I've just pointed my camera at the screen, and I've got my mouse on here so we can see what's going on. Now, okay, I've got more footage of this clip, but just from this clip alone, it's pretty easy to work out what's going on. All this flotsam here has drifted down into a corner, and the fish are underneath it because they feel quite safe underneath it. It gives me an advantage that they can't see me, but I can't see them. But I can see where they are from the swirls and the water movement. Okay, so the fish are coming either from the left or from the right, either way. Okay, and they're moving along. And what I was doing, you know, apart from this random clip, it was dropping biscuits out of sight on the left and out of sight on the right. Okay, so the fish are moving along the margins, closer in, taking baits until they get into this area, which is where I've got my hook bait. Now, when I drop the bait in and I lower the bait in, there's the hook bait going in. See, it's dangling around here. I've dropped it in, and then I put the line down, and then notice the angle it comes down at here. Okay, it's like nearly 45 degrees, maybe even less, 30 degrees, that angle like that across here. If we count this straight piece here as a reference, because the fish are coming right and left, I've put the rod tip on the grass that's out of sight here because it was silent and wasn't going to make any noises, and the line is coming like this. Okay, now if we wait for the fish to come and take the bait, which is another few seconds of your life you probably won't get back, then we can see what happens. See, the fish comes in from this way and grabs the biscuit, and when I strike this way. So the mouth's here, the line's running that way, and I pull this way. So basically I'm pulling the line out of the fish's mouth, and that's why I've got a hook pull. There's it goes. As you can see, it came in from this way and I pulled this way, and it led to, well, not a fish hooked, but expletives. Okay, so that's how I worked out what was wrong with that video. Okay, so what I did from then on is, when I found myself in this situation again and I caught fish in this area off this platform, I kept the line that way. So it's 90 degrees to the bank. We've got the bank here and the line goes straight out. That way, when a fish comes from the left or from the right, all I've got to do is either lift up or up and slightly to one side. So for example, if the fish comes from the left I'm going to lift up and strike to the left. I'm not going to try and pull the biscuit out of its mouth. I'm going to go that way with the strike, and if it comes in from the right, again, I'm not going to strike that way. I'm going to go that way or upwards, okay, because that'll give a better chance of hooking the fish. And of course it did, as you can see from the fish that it's on the screen now. I think I've had half a dozen commons between 10 and just under 16 pound, one after another, all caught literally within a foot of the bank, by making sure that the line is that way. And that's all it was. Okay, so this little clip, actually, it taught me a lot. Okay, so although it might be a minute and a half someone can't get back, if you look at things closely and you break them down, then you can learn something from it. Okay, so that's what I learned from analysing that clip and watching it back and looking at it. I actually pulled the biscuit out of the fish's mouth when it struck, and I've been consciously working on that and trying not to do that. You've got to really concentrate when you're fishing on the surface, because the bait goes in quick and the fish comes up really fast. You've got literally a split second to decide when you strike, and you've got to really focus which way is it coming up from, which way is it coming up from. You're looking for the fish to come up before it actually takes the biscuit, so you've got that little split second to decide. It's really difficult thing to do, actually, to concentrate and focus that hard, poised, ready to strike, and to not know which way you're going to strike or anything like that. It's quite difficult. So by keeping the bait straight out, go upwards, and that worked for me. And as you can see, it's produced quite a few fish. Okay, so that's an analysis of what happened. Hope you enjoyed watching that and you took something from it. You know, it just goes to show you what someone can see in one video, someone will miss. And that's the thing about my videos, you should always watch all of them. When I make my films, they're in sections, beginning to end, and it's a whole process, and if you tune away, you might miss something. Okay, so there's a video on screen here. That's the clip, the original clip that you've just seen, and down here is a video that YouTube thinks you might like. Okay, so check them out, and I'll see you next time. Tight lines and take care.